and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast, and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally, and we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about in language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and then I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow. Send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10,
Think about AI,
most
right?
founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Yes, that's a fantastic idea. During Startup on the Blocks, we actually call it our Founders Insight Program. And we're here every Thursday night. We've been here for almost 5.5 years doing this Startup Founder Best Practices. So founders can kind of get some insight on where they're going and where they're at and stuff like that to know, so they won't be lost of anything like that. So we're definitely glad to kick off the new year, and our focus is definitely for the founders to actually get some clarity in what they're doing and support them in what they're doing. So I'm going to get started giving some shout outs to our sponsors, but first this is kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I'll talk about it a little bit here. Let me see, can I get this thing out of the way? But anyway, what's going on now with all these new AI tools, the vibe coding and stuff? It's just causing founders to get out there and build stuff fast, but that's not the way to go. And so we're going to be talking about this idea of knowing where you are in the startup life cycle, and this is like the step one, diagnosing the season that you're in. Are you at the beginning where you're doing discovery, and the platform we use has the process for doing that? Or are you in the next season where you're doing validation and making sure there's a demand for what you're building before you build it? And then the level 3 part of what we do is the growth thing. We leverage the Lean Stack platform, and so Ash hasn't launched that yet, but I'm trained in that for that. So, and have experience in that. So, and then the final thing is scaling. And so you have to know which season you're in. And I shared a prompt at the end of last year for the founders on our email list to kind of help you understand what season your startup is in. So you focus on the right thing at the right time, as opposed to doing something that doesn't even matter for the season that you're in. And then so everything is about like having evidence of data to from what you've learned in the experiments that you run. So instead of thinking or guessing, because you got the evidence. You've actually did the experiments to kind of prove the what you're learning, and that's actually that's progress. So that's the neat thing about that. And then the third step is you accelerate and leveraging all the AI stuff. but you do it in a responsible way. And so that's one thing we help our founders with. We help them with with leveraging the AI, to kind of help them understand where they are, help them to the AI to design their business models, doing that discovery and validation and marketing stuff. And so, but it's all based on this framework of the lean stack, and so most people out there prompting, but they're not. It's not based on any framework. It's just yeah. So everything has to be grounded. Alrighty, so we've been out here a while, and the progress we've made is through our partnerships and organizations, um, and so yeah, and so that's the neat thing about that. And so, but we leverage these partnerships to make sure you got the resources you need, and we also leverage the partnerships in order to be able to reach more people. Like we did a deal with Blacks in Technology back in 2023, and we had um, a, a a person in the networking just before this that's got referred to us by someone who participated in that program. But yeah, so it's a really their the mission is just like ours. We want to help people learn stuff and get more skills to grow. We want to help people learn how to navigate the startup world. And so yeah, and so we literally gathered the tools and stuff to guide you along, and now that AI is here, is making things a lot easier. But we also partnered with this company called Startup Science, and that's an amazing partnership because now you've got a platform that has all the training to get through the different phases of your startup, but it also has all the funding, a lot of funding sources, a lot of pitch events, a lot of sample um, uh, founder paperwork. It's got free software, discounted software, and so when you participate in our program, and it's simple, just go to apply.kakurinstitute.org, and you get access to these tools. And we also partner with Coda. It's a document suite, but it leverages AI as well. You can run your whole back office with Coda, and just selecting us as a partner on the Coda website, you actually get 6 months of that free and unlimited AI. We partner with Make Startups, Pitch Bob, and LeanStack is our core platform. The platform is actually changing next year. Yeah, good to see you out there, Barrington. Glad to have you. Yeah, if I remember right, I think you came might have came through the bit thing as well. But so it's everything is like leveraging AI but it's leveraging in a way to help you get clarity. But you still have to make decisions, but you're getting the help you need to kind of move forward. Yeah, and we also part of the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, and so that's an exciting. So we're able to offer a lot more stuff to founders as being a part of that, as well as the Black Innovation Alliance as well. So that's an organization that has about 200 member organizations that they all work with Black founders. So that's pretty interesting all over the country. And then Goody Nation, that's Joey up there in Atlanta. They help founders. They have a program that helps founders be accountable on a weekly basis, and we spent some time in that with our workforce stuff, and it was definitely worth it. Still got plenty of good contacts from that. But these are some of the folks here that help fund what we do, and so that's the neat thing about that. We have an annual innovation summit in April So keep your eye out. Keep it. This is what you have to keep out for us. Is we have we do this weekly event, and I have office hours on Saturdays from 1 to 3. And then we have our cohorts for our new uh, Founders Insight program. And so, and all that means is you get access to the resources. You get all the knowledge we've accumulated over the years, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We leverage AI really heavy, and we yeah. So we have the tools, we have the prompts, to kind of move you forward. But like I said, through these folks like you see here, that's what help us provide the services for you. And we've just learned so much over the past few years, and we've definitely speeded up the process, help you speed up the process of you learning. This program is coming. Part of it is coming to a close pretty soon. So if you haven't taken advantage of this, yeah, it's where the opportunity to get some patent and trademark training, but we also have some um, uh, this platform leverages AI to help you file trademarks and patents. So we have some licenses for trademarks and for patents, and so yeah, so take advantage of this. You We have at KakuaInstitute.org, the Get Started page. There's a link for this on there as well. So we definitely got you covered there. Alrighty, and so when you wrap up all the things we do, we're just trying to get you prepared, and so you have all the knowledge and information you need. You have all the tools you need to kind of level the playing field from the knowledge standpoint. You still have to go out and get the connection, but we make sure you know all the resources that are available to help you move your startup forward. And yeah, and so our training platforms and coaching is designed to help you learn how to pitch your design and pitch your scalable business models. Most of the programs don't teach you how to design a scalable business model. We do, and it literally takes 5 minutes. So it's a pretty neat deal there. So, but once you know how to do this first step up here, then you have less trouble with this recruiting co-founders and stuff like that, and getting the help you need. And so you need clarity on where you are, both from a milestone standpoint and a life cycle standpoint. And these things up here are the keys to unlocking the resources in the ecosystem. And so, because you want to be able to engage with all these entrepreneur support organizations and investors and free software, pitch competition, grants, you name it. But until you learn how to do these first couple of steps, you're dead in the water. And so, and that's literally the reason why we started our startup programs. We started back in August of 2020 in the middle of COVID. But the reason why we started was there was a bunch of funding that was being set aside for Black founders. And by the time we started in August, there have been around $3 to $5 billion set aside for Black founders. But I knew the average Black founder didn't know that you actually need to pitch your business model. When you fill out the application to get this money or to get in the program that's giving you money, you have to know how to talk about your business model, because if you don't, you're never going to get in the program. And so the ones that actually make a significant difference. And so what we've learned, you actually get access to it when you get involved with us. I was talking earlier about the the IP launch pads with the patent and trademarks. That's what this. So, and I was saying you have to go to this link here, the careerinstitute.org, get started. And feel free to ask questions in the audience. And yeah, and so we're here to every Thursday to help you with move forward. And that's what I learned out in the ecosystem during my startup. Everywhere I travel from was St. Louis, Dallas, San Francisco, Poland, London. Everywhere I went, they had events on Thursday night, and that's why we do our program on there. And so I started showing this chart from the very beginning. It was very straightforward. And this particular Startup Commons thing. They have a whole YouTube channel that has all the everything you ever want to know about, building a startup. But what it helps you understand is when you launch, when people like open up a business or launch their startup, there's several stuff that has to be done even before that, and that's what this thing kind of shows you. How you kind of transition from with your idea all the way to launching a product and actually growing, and that's what that chart is for. This chart is based on the link on the startup science. You start off with a vision and you're trying to get to an exit. So this program was designed by a founder that had went through 12 exits and the worth over several $billion. So everything he learned from building and selling those 12 companies, he put it in this training program. But it's kind of like a phase type thing, and it also illustrates the idea. If you down here in the vision or trying to build your MVP, you shouldn't be trying to be doing stuff out here, marketing and all that stuff. You should focus on the stuff for the stage you're in, and that's the clarity and kind of stuff you need. But yeah, and then so that's basically it from that standpoint. So feel free to ask questions. Glad to have you here. I'm going to show you a video about this clarity stuff I'm talking about, and it kind of sets the stage, for the discussion. And so just listen in and see what you learn from it.
You're already behind. But here's a thought, a big one that might just save your startup. AI, it's not the real advantage. No. Looking at the next couple of years, say 2026, the founders who are actually going to win are the ones who get one thing right first: clarity. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that is.
Yeah, this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. AI gives us this incredible, almost unbelievable speed. We can build, we can test, we can deploy faster than ever before. But, and this is a huge but, that speed is a double-edged sword. Because if you're pointing your ship in the wrong direction, all AI does is help you crash into the rocks, just faster. It's like having a Ferrari engine, but you're still the one who has to steer.
And that leads us straight into what you could call the AI hype trap. You've seen it, right? It's this magnetic pull, this irresistible urge to just throw AI at everything right now. But without a solid foundation, oof. The result is founders are just burning through everything: their time, their money, their credibility, all because they're grabbing these incredibly powerful tools way too soon. So here's the absolute core idea you need to get. Think of AI as just a massive amplifier, a giant megaphone. It takes whatever you give it and makes it bigger. So if you've got a clear strategy, one that's based on actual evidence, well, AI amplifies that clarity. You get real learning, real progress. But what if you're just running on guesses and assumptions? Well, then AI just amplifies the chaos. And that leads to a whole lot of wasted effort and some very expensive mistakes.
So what does this amplified chaos actually look like on the ground? Well, you see founders building out entire products before they've even talked to a customer. Seriously, they're using AI to dream up features with zero evidence anyone actually wants them. But maybe the most dangerous trap of all? Confusing automation with traction. They see the tool doing stuff and they think that's progress, that it's genuine customer buy-in. It's not.
And a huge reason for all these mistakes comes down to one thing: Founders don't know what stage they're really in. It's wild. So many startups fail, and it's not because the founders aren't brilliant or that they don't work hard enough. It's because they're using the wrong playbook for the wrong season. It's like trying to run a fourth quarter strategy in the first 5 minutes of the game. Timing really does beat intensity every single time. So this is a question every founder needs to stop and ask themselves. Like right now, be honest. Are you confusing being busy with making progress? Because they are not the same thing. A busy founder and a progressing founder can look totally different. Think about your days. Are they just packed with building and coding, or are they filled with learning? Because in those early days, progress isn't measured by how much you do, it's measured by how much uncertainty you get rid of. Okay, so this table here is basically the solution. It's about understanding your startup's season. Look, if you're in the discovery season, your only job is to learn if a problem is even worth solving. So what should you absolutely not do? Don't build an MVP. Don't run ads. Then you move to validation. Here, your goal is to get proof of commitment. So you shouldn't be trying to scale your marketing. See how that works? Later comes growth, which is all about repeatable traction. And then scale is about efficiency. Knowing your season isn't restrictive. It actually gives you permission to focus only on the work that matters right now. And all of this brings us back to the main point, the clarity advantage. Look, the real, lasting, defensible advantage in the coming years isn't going to be about who has the fanciest AI tools. Nope. It's going to come from having the clearest, most rock-solid proof that you are on the right track. It's about earning the right to hit the accelerator. This right here is such a critical point. You can't use AI to skip the hard part, the thinking. It's not a shortcut. If you can't clearly explain your problem, who your customer is, what your strategy is, AI isn't some magic wand that's going to fix it for you. In fact, it'll do the opposite. It'll just highlight how fuzzy your thinking is by spitting out a bunch of stuff that goes absolutely nowhere. So, what does this clarity actually look like in the real world? It really just boils down to these three things. Three non-negotiable proofs. And let me be clear, before you write a single line of code, before you even think about scaling or plugging in some fancy AI, you must have solid evidence for these three things. This is your foundation. Everything else is built on this. Okay, first up, is the problem real? And I don't mean a minor annoyance. A real problem is something that happens over and over. It's genuinely painful for your customer, and this is key, it's urgent. So urgent that they are already trying to solve it right now. If you don't have that, you don't have a painkiller. You have a vitamin, and nobody rushes to the store in the middle of the night for a vitamin. All right, next, who feels this pain the most? Your early adopter can't just be small businesses or millennials. That's not good enough. It has to be a super specific, tightly defined group of people. A group you can actually find and talk to. And here's the telltale sign. They should already be trying to fix this problem themselves, even if they're using a messy spreadsheet or some duct-taped process. That clunky workaround, that's your signal of a desperate need. And finally, we get to the ultimate proof, the acid test. Willingness to commit. This is where the rubber meets the road, people. Oh, that's a cool idea. That's a compliment. And compliments don't count. They're worthless as traction. Real commitment is a currency. It's money for a pre-order. It's their valuable time in a pilot. It's giving you access to their data. It's something tangible that proves they believe you can actually solve their problem. Okay, so once you have this clarity, once you've nailed down those three proofs, then, and only then, have you earned the right to start using AI properly. This is the moment when AI stops being this dangerous distraction and transforms into an unbelievable force multiplier. Now you can use it to accelerate what you already know works. So what does using AI the right way look like? Well, it depends on your season. Back in the discovery season, use AI to go through all your interview notes and find patterns you might have missed. When you're in validation, you can use it to help you design better experiments or track commitment signals. It's only way later in growth and scale that you start using AI for the big stuff, like broad optimization and efficiency. See the theme here? It always supports the human thinking and learning process. It never, ever replaces it. And this right here is the golden rule. Memorize this one. If you can't explain a decision without mentioning AI, then you are not ready to automate that decision. Simple as that. AI should be a tool to enhance your judgment, not a black box to replace it. You have to be able to explain the logic yourself first. That's the ultimate litmus test for using AI responsibly. So let's bring it all home. The big takeaway is this. We're in an age where AI makes taking action incredibly cheap and easy. So speed alone isn't the unfair advantage anymore. The new unfair advantage? It's discipline.
the discipline to figure out what season you're in, the discipline to get evidence before you build, and the discipline to use these incredible tools with care. Real clarity is rare, and in the world of startups, whatever is rare is what gives you the edge. So I want to leave you with one last question to think about, a really powerful one. The next time you're tempted to jump on the latest, shiniest AI tool, just stop and ask yourself this: what specific decision am I actually trying to improve here? Because answering that question, that's your first step away from all the AI-fueled chaos and toward real, powerful AI-amplified clarity.
Cool, cool. Uh, I hope that was helpful. So let me know if you have any questions at all about that. I'll be glad to kind of answer those questions. I also have a prompt, a founder clarity prompt kit that I'll share as well, and I'll go ahead and do that now. Get the link and I'll paste it in here. So the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, you can leverage the prompts in this document to kind of help you with some of the things we're discussing or you see in the video. So, and I'll just share my screen and show it to you. I just put that in the chat. And so let's get it up here. Let's see. Alrighty. Get this. Let's move that here. Apologize for that. Yeah. So this is the prompt kit, and so the first prompt in there is what season is your startup in, and I'll show you a little bit of video on that. And then the next one is the clarity before building, and the next one is the evidence one, and then we go down to the readiness gate prompt, and then so it's just several prompts in here that you can actually use to kind of help help you understand what we're talking about tonight. So feel free to use that. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. And so the main prompt that we use, if I can find it here, let's see, I must have switched something here. Yeah. So, but I'll get it. It's called the business idea prompt. I was just showing it in the networking, so I must have separated it from the screen here. But let's just get it up real quick. Yeah. So if you want to share how you've been leveraging the AI and prompts and agents and stuff, feel free um, to kind of let me know about that. But for our lean stack, we have this. So the good news is we use um, the AI to help you understand the whole process, what season you're in, and, like to do your design, your business model, to do the demand validation, and to do the marketing. So this one prompt here takes you through all of that. It's got 27 steps in it. And one thing I would do for you is this little part of the prompt here, Lanika's verbose discovery principles. You can literally extract this stuff out of here and build that. And so, like, just you upload this prompt to whichever program you use, ChatGPT or whatever. But anyway, you can actually pull these verbose discovery principles out of there. You can use them on any transcript, um, any article, any document, and it literally expands your prompts and like you never would even imagine. So, but it's really mind blowing. It puts you in prompting in a whole nother level. So if I find out the actual prompt, I'll share that with you as well. But it's just an opportunity for you to kind of learn. But this particular prompt here, this business model design, the demand validation and marketing prompt, it literally takes you through. Um, let's get back going here. It takes you through. Let's see here. It takes you through these steps here in the lean stack, and so this is a sequence of things you have to do in lean stack. Ash posted on this morning, but basically the in the our program we use the lean stack.com platform, and we give you access to that. But it literally is a process that when you have an idea, it you run the idea through this process. And so, and if you notice, looking at, you start off with one canvas, you break it, and canvas is the business model. You break it up into all the customer segments or variants, but ultimately you're going to stress test those and then come up with a pitch for your business model. And but ultimately you're trying to get to the point where you focusing on one of the variants of one of the customer segments, and so it's because you can't market to all these customer segments at once. So you're trying to find the one that's going to get you the most traction. And traction is what the ecosystem, that's the grading tool that they use. You have to demonstrate traction in what you're doing and what you're building. And so that's what this whole process allows you to learn how to do that. And so, but yeah, I just want to make sure you were aware of that is what the is what the deal is, that this prompt is actually doing. It's actually taking you through all of those steps in that. Basically through the business model design, and that's the first phase, stage one. Stage two is the demand validation, and stage three is the marketing. And so, as part of our demand validation thing, so if you hadn't heard the term customer forces job to be done, so if you have to know the customer forces, because that's what it takes to get the customer to switch from what they're already using to what they have, and you have to know the job to be done that the customer is trying to do. You have to know the hiring and firing criteria for the reason why they chose the products they're currently using, but all that, you get all that stuff, you can design your solution based on that, and you can design your marketing based on that. And so let's see, I'll drop this prompt in the chat too for you. Let's see here. So it's one of the most valuable things that we actually have for you, because when you run this prompt in the deep research mode in ChatGPT or any of them, but what I found that Claude gets the best results for this particular prompt. It's literally designed to take you through all this stuff, so you can get a better understanding about your business idea. And what we have our founders do once the prompt finish in the deep research mode, and all you have to put in there in this prompt is like a good description of your business idea between the brackets here, and then the industry, and from that it uses that information to literally research the whole industry, find out all the pain points in the industry, and different business models that solve the pain points. Yeah, and yeah, it's just really a comprehensive thing. Determines so much stuff you'll literally be blown away. Anybody have any questions out in the audience? Yeah, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be what I'm talking about. So if you need help figuring out what the next step you need to do for whatever, that's what I'm here. Just type it in the chat, and I'll be glad to address it. But this year is all about helping you getting the insight to move forward. And so, like I said, once you finish running this prompt, you dump it in the Notebook LM, which is free. Run the prompt is free. But anyway, if you develop a podcast around the results of this prompt, you can actually talk and have a conversation with your business model, ask your business model questions, and to get a better understanding, because it's going to tell you, it's going to prioritize the customer segment that you should work on first. Yeah, just a whole lot of good stuff. So I can't say enough about it. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show the video about determining which season you're in. So and so this is a lot of the prompts that I share with you. You have to run them in, because they based off what you've been chatting with about your particular business. So if you've been running prompts in ChatGPT about your business idea, or Gemini, or Claude, then so when you run these prompts, it's gonna actually it actually gives you rich results. So that's what I wanted to kind of communicate there. Let's see. So this next one is to help you determine which season you're in, your startup is in, so you know what you should be doing in that particular season.
As a founder, you know that your most precious resources are your time, your capital, and your energy, right? But what if the playbook you're executing right now is just burning through all three of those without actually moving you forward? Well, today, we're going to figure out if you're running the right play for your startup's current season. Let's get into it. I love this quote because it gets right to the heart of a huge startup trap: confusing frantic activity with real progress. Just being busy isn't the same as moving forward. Not at all, especially when you're sprinting full speed, but in the completely wrong direction. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack this wrong playbook trap. Then I'll introduce a really simple but powerful framework to help you get your bearings. We'll walk through the specific plays for each of the 4 startup seasons, and we'll wrap up with a quick diagnostic tool so you can pinpoint exactly where your startup is right now. All right, section 1, the wrong playbook trap. It's so easy to fall into this because as founders, we are just wired for action. But this is exactly where that passion, that effort, can lead us astray if it's not pointed in the right direction. It all comes down to one core problem: misalignment. Think about it. It's almost never a lack of effort or intelligence that sinks a startup. It's a failure of timing. It's doing the right things, but in the wrong order. You see it all the time. Founders trying to raise money before they even have a wheel that turns, or hiring a sales team before they really know what problem they're solving. All these misaligned paths, they lead to the exact same destination: burnout. So how do we avoid these traps? Well, the answer isn't to hustle harder or to work longer hours. It's to get smarter about when we do things. And that is where this amazing diagnostic framework, the 4 seasons, comes into play. And this is really the core idea here. Moving with intelligent timing will always be raw, unfocused speed. It is all about proper sequencing. It's kind of like unlocking levels in a video game. You have to earn the right to take that next step. And this lays out that journey perfectly. The best way to think about your startup is that it will progress through 4 distinct seasons. You start with discovery, then you move to validation, then growth, and finally scale. And here's the kicker: each season demands a completely different goal And because of that, a completely different playbook. So let's dive into these playbooks, and we'll start with the 2 seasons where, let's be honest, most startups either live or die: discovery and validation. Getting these early stages right is absolutely everything. First up, we've got the discovery season. In this season, your only job is to be a detective, not an engineer. You have one and only one goal: to learn. You have to prove that there's a painful, urgent problem out there that is genuinely worth solving. Now, what's really crucial to notice about this playbook is the what not to do column. In the discovery season, your playbook is actually more about what you avoid. You are doing interviews, you're looking for patterns, you are explicitly not writing code, you are not hiring anyone, and you're definitely not spending a dime on marketing. Okay, so only after you've proven the problem is real have you earned the right to enter the validation season. Now your goal completely shifts. It's no longer about the problem. It's about proving that someone will actually commit to your solution. And look at the playbook here. Oh, that's a nice idea is not evidence. You are hunting for tangible commitments, real skin in the game. That means their time, their data, or their money. We're talking about getting pre-orders, signed pilot agreements, or letters of intent. And that avoid list is just as important. You are not scaling marketing or trying to raise a big round of funding just yet. Once you have that concrete evidence of commitment, and only then, have you earned your ticket to the later seasons, growth and scale. And this is where things really start to accelerate. So, the growth season. This is where you shift from those one-off wins to actually building a repeatable machine. The goal here is to prove that you can acquire and retain customers consistently and predictably. You're moving past those manual experiments and you're starting to build a real system. So now, your evidence shifts to hard metrics, things like consistent conversion rates and strong retention signals. And pay really close attention to the what not to do section here. If you find yourself still making major pivots and constantly changing direction, that is a huge red flag that you probably jumped out of the validation season way too soon. And finally, we arrive at the scale season. You've proven the problem, you've validated the solution, and you've built a growth engine. Now, and only now, it's all about optimizing that engine for maximum efficiency and expanding its reach. This is the stage everyone dreams about, right? In the scale playbook, the goal is just pure efficiency. You are laser focused on unit economics, making sure you make more money from each customer than it costs you to get them. And you're seeking operational leverage, doing more with less. The time for broad exploration is over. You stop searching and you start perfecting the machine that you've already built. All right, so we've walked through the whole framework. Now for the most important part, turning that magnifying glass on ourselves. It's time to use this as a diagnostic tool and figure out with brutal honesty what season your startup is actually in. And really, it all boils down to this one simple question. You have to be ruthlessly honest with yourself and look only at the cold, hard proof. Ignore your hopes, ignore your 5-year plan, your shiny pitch deck projections. What evidence have you actually gathered? This right here is the ultimate reality check. On the left is where you think you are. Fueled by ambition and plans and all that good stuff. On the right, that's where the evidence says you are. So you might feel like you're ready to scale, but if the proof only supports that you're in discovery, well, that's the playbook you have to run. This is all about aligning your actions with the season you've truly earned. And this is why this diagnosis is such a game changer. Knowing your true season isn't about adding more stuff to your to-do list. No, it's about giving you permission to create a stop doing list. It's an incredible tool for focus because it tells you exactly what work you can and absolutely should ignore right now. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to ask yourself and your team. Based on our actual evidence, what are we going to stop doing this quarter? Answering that question honestly, I promise you it will unlock more progress than any amount of hustle ever could. Find your season, run the right play, and start making real progress.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hope that insight was a little helpful there for you. I did find a Lanika prompt, and I'm going to go ahead and share it with you right now. This particular prompt, it's all about getting the insights from and learning from from transcripts, from YouTube video transcripts, from articles that you see about startup founders, um, you name it. It's a universal uh, prompt. So like I generally record every meeting I go to. I record one-on-ones and stuff, and I give the results of these prompts back to the founder. And I'll give you an example. Myself and another founder, we were on a call with an investor, and the investor was giving some good feedback. And so we both had the recording and the transcript from the recording. So I told this other founder, I said, go ahead and run, analyze the transcript or whatever, and then I use this particular prompt here to analyze the transcript, and the difference in information and insights you get are night and day. And so that's where this will change your whole AI experience. Yeah, it literally will. And so you could even use this prompt. You can, let's say you've been chatting, you got a long thread about whatever, about your business or whatever. You can literally paste this prompt in the chat and say, run this prompt on the whole chat thread, and it'll give you the insights on everything you've been prompting about. It's literally powerful the thing to run. But one of our founders kind of laid the foundation for this. That's why I call it the Lanika inspired prompt, because she used this analytical method when she's working on a business idea or whatever, and so she explained it, so I was able to use the transcript to figure out what the prompting method was, just based on her description, and from that I can literally tell you, and I think this was back maybe in October. My whole AI experience totally changed after start using this prompt right here. It's literally amazing, and what you have to realize about prompting, AI is only going to give you what it thinks you want, and so it's so it's just it's like a mirror. It's gonna reflect back something. So you have to force it to kind of analyze stuff. And so that's kind of what the deal is. But I'm literally telling you, if you start using this prompt on stuff you're doing, you will literally be blown away from the insights you're gonna, because it's called the verbose discovery principles. But it's like it's amazing. Yeah. So it literally has changed my whole prompting experience since the last 3.5 months, and I've gotten so much more insight out of information. And just like the video was saying, like when you're doing interviews, there's no way you're going to remember everything the person says, and even if you record it, you don't really know what the prompted to get the information you actually need. I never read transcripts. I never ask for summaries or anything anymore. I just run this prompt, and it gives me all the insights that I had a meeting today. I'm the board chairman of our local workforce board. I got the materials for the meeting today, 100 and some pages, and ran this prompt on those pages, and literally understood everything that was in those 100 and some pages in a matter of minutes, and used Notebook LM to create an explainer video. Yeah, it's literally amazing. It'll literally change your whole life. So I can't, I have to give Lanika credit, and she's participated in our 30-day program and our 90-day program, and so she's actually was able to win money in both of them. So yeah, but she uses this approach, and I'm happy to say I'm glad I was paying attention when she explained what she did, because, and not just from the transcript. I got all of this just from her explaining this in a minute or two from from the thing. So you have it. So I advise you'll be thanking Lanika and me for years from now if you use that prompt. Yeah. Okay. What's Cheryl saying here? Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. So yeah, it's just so many ways that the AI can actually help you with what you're doing. But it's like I said, if you don't know what you're looking for and you access something, you it's just going to reflect back what it thinks you want. This forces it to analyze what is actually what it actually is, and see literally. So like if you get a document or anything, you can literally ask ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, Gemini, well, what are some prompts I should use with this document, and it'll actually tell you what the prompt you should use. Yeah, it's amazing. I can't. This is literally gold for you as a founder, and so definitely take advantage of it. And like Cheryl was saying, this knowledge. So we gain all this knowledge from working with founders. Yeah, of course, I have experience. I've developed technology my whole career working for the government. I learned the process of developing things that had never been developed before, and it's the same way you do with startups and the business ideas. I learned a lot of stuff. I know a lot of things, but the good thing, and I've been working with AI since the 90s, so I know about AI, but there's still so much you just don't really know. So you always have to be a student. So you, and one, I'll give you this example. People understand maybe how the AI can look at an X-ray and find cancer or diagnose skin cancer, but you can look at it and you can't tell. But when you get a transcript from a conversation of what you hear, or you go to a conference and you record the sessions, it's no way you can synthesize all the information that you hear in there. This prompt literally does that for you. It finds the things, but it finds it based on what it knows what you've been prompting about in the past. And so I can't say enough about it. All right, so we're getting short on time, so I'm going to show this last video, and if you got any questions. So this is one, it's about our core program, and so hopefully you will find it's useful. So it's from idea to evidence. So it's all about like using this prompt, and so like you have to it's your, like say AI is your co-founder. So let me just
All
go
right,
ahead.
welcome back. So you're a founder. The new year is here and it feels like a totally blank slate, right? So much potential. But, and this is a big but, it's also a trap. Today, we are hitting a complete reset on how you operate. We're going to move away from those vague, fuzzy goals and get into hard proof. We're talking about a 90-day plan to find out what's really true about your business. Let's do this. And this right here, this is the core truth we have to start with. I mean, just let that sink in. It's not about working harder or pulling more all-nighters. It's not about passion. The startups that actually make it are the ones that systematically prove their ideas are grounded in reality. Everyone else, they're just running on hope. And we're about to see why hope is not a strategy. Okay, so let's dive into this New Year goal trap. We all do it, right? We set these massive goals, launch the MVP by March or raise a seed round this quarter. But here's the problem. Those goals push us down the wrong path because they're all about doing things, not learning things.
And this slide just nails it. This is the trap. We confuse activity with progress. It feels so good to be busy, doesn't it? Building features, jumping from meeting to meeting. You feel productive. But are you actually making progress? Real progress isn't about how busy your calendar is. It's about gathering cold, hard evidence that you're on the right track. It's about learning what's true. So here's the bottom line. Setting a goal to launch your product doesn't prove a single person wants it. Busy isn't the same as moving forward. And just hoping you'll get traction is a world away from having actual, tangible evidence of it. This is the fundamental mindset shift we have to make, like, right now. So that brings us to the solution. It's time to completely reframe what your job is. For the next 90 days, you're not a CEO. You're not a builder. You are a detective. And your only job is to go out there and find the truth by gathering evidence. Look, if you only remember one single thing from our time together today, please make it this. For the next 90 days, every single thing you do, every action, every decision, it all has to serve one purpose: learning what is actually, factually true about your customers, your market, and your idea. Okay, so if your job is to gather evidence, what evidence actually matters? It's not just random data. There are 3 essential, non-negotiable proofs you absolutely have to collect. Let's break them down. First things first, you've got to prove you found a real problem. And a real problem has these 3 ingredients. It's repeated, it's not a one-off thing, it happens all the time. It's painful, we're not talking about a minor annoyance, we're talking about a hair-on-fire issue. And it's urgent. People want it solved now, not someday. If you don't have all 3, you just have a cool idea, not a business. Okay, proof number 2, a reachable early adopter. And really focus on that word specific. This is not a vague category like millennials or small businesses. No, it's a precise type of person you can actually find and talk to. They are accessible. And here's the kicker. They have to be actively trying to solve this problem today, even if it's with some messy, duct tape together solution. That's your signal. That's real pain. And finally, this is it. This is the ultimate test. You need proof of commitment. You know, hearing someone say, "Oh, that's a cool idea," that is a vanity metric. It's worthless. It feels good, but it means nothing. Real evidence is when they commit something that has value: their money for a pre-order, their time for a pilot program, their access to their network, their data. Compliments don't count. Commitment is the only thing that does. So how in the world do you actually go out and get these 3 proofs? Well, you need a new operating system. You've got to forget those vague goals. For the next 90 days, you're going to run a disciplined learning cycle. This is it. It's a really simple 4-step loop. First, you state a really clear assumption. Something like, I believe wedding photographers will pay $50 a month for this. Second, you design a quick, cheap experiment to test it. Third, you collect the evidence. What actually happened, not what you hoped would happen. And fourth, and this is the most important part, you make a decision based on that evidence. This is how you stop guessing and start learning. Now, when you get to that decision point, there are only 3 valid outcomes. And this, my friends, is where we completely redefine what success looks like for an early stage founder. These 3 words, this is your new roadmap. After every single experiment, you pick one. You persevere because the evidence is strong and says keep going. You pivot because you learn something that points you in a new, smarter direction. Or you pause because the evidence shows this isn't worth pursuing right now. And listen, this is so critical. A pivot is not a failure. It is a massive success. You just learned something that saved you months, maybe years, of building the wrong thing. A pause isn't quitting. It's a smart, evidence-based decision to stop wasting time and money. True success isn't about being right all the time. It's about using evidence to find the right path, whatever that path turns out to be. So let's just bring this all home. Your real competitive advantage, it's not your brilliant idea. It's not your work ethic. It's not your tech stack. It's the speed at which you can learn. It's how fast you can cycle through these learning loops, gather real evidence, and make smart decisions. Your job is to outlearn everybody else. And that leaves us with one final, very important question for you to take with you. Seriously, take a hard look at your business right now. What is the single biggest assumption that you are treating as a proven fact? Find it, and then design one tiny experiment to test it this week. That's it. That's how you start winning. Thanks.
Cool. Yes. So that you should have the all the prompts, the prompt suite for the stuff we talked about today, and want to let you know we're here every Thursday night. Networking starts at 6, and we have this normally have a founder, or somebody in the ecosystem that I'm interviewing. We have a founder that we'll have on next week. But our whole series this year, we're going to be making sure you have the information you need to move forward. And so I'll give you an example for today. So, like, if you go over to our YouTube channel, the Kakua Institute YouTube channel, and get the transcript from the video today, and run this prompt on it, and you'll literally get all the insights that you miss or you thought you knew, but it literally will extract all the information. And I'm telling you, this prompt is powerful. It reads between the lines of what people are are telling you. It's that literally powerful. It literally tell if somebody, like, let's say I'm talking to an investor and the investor asks me questions, and so it literally tells me why the investor asked that question. What's the reasoning behind that question. It's literally it's amazing, but you have to be mentally strong, because one of the sessions I used this on, it told me the facts that I wasn't ready for whatever the person the investor I was talking to. It tells you the truth. It's not gonna just tell you something good to make you happy. It's gonna literally tell you where you're going wrong at. So, and so most of y'all know, when you running these prompts, you get all positive information, because that's what the thing is designed to do. So you have to have something like this Lanika's prompt thing to actually, to make everything honest and get the information. So, like, all this programs that we offer you, and it literally, um, we leverage AI throughout the whole program. And so if you do stuff the correct way, you will get the insights that you need. So, any questions out there? Uh, and this is the time to ask them. Just remember, we're here every Thursday night, and if you want to participate in our Founders Insight program, we don't care if you got a mom and pop store. We don't care if you got a nonprofit. You can literally, these prompts, it a business model design prompt, it actually will work on any type of business. It would even actually work on an event. If you're planning an event, you can run in that 27-step prompt on that. That's how powerful that prompt is. And it's following a rigorous process, and getting the information and evaluating the information. And then you can listen to it. You can dump it over in a Notebook LM, and do the explain the video, the podcast. Yeah. So it's the work. So hang with us this year, and we will definitely be glad to help you move forward. Yes. So this question from Nasha, and I appreciate you asking this question. So what you need to everybody needs to understand. We offer these training platforms, and you can jump in there and go through them at any time. And so it's not based on a specific cohort or anything, but we do at least 3 cohorts each year. You don't have to wait for the cohort, because we're here every Thursday. You can ask questions on networking. I'm available on Saturdays. I'm available through email, phone, whatever. And you don't have to wait till a cohort. You can get the information you need. That prompt, the business model design. Yeah, so don't worry about that. But we will. You're on it. If we got your email address, we will alert you when the cohorts are coming. But there's plenty of opportunities out there. You don't want to wait for anything or anybody. you get access to the material, and when you get, for us, you're going to literally, yeah. So don't wait. People say always they want to wait. What are you waiting for when you got access to the material? All the courses we have the videos to explain all of them. We have the AI that's already analyzed all the stuff. We have the AI agents to help you understand the results you get from using the tools in the program. So don't ever wait. It's the biggest mistake you can make, because there's programs out there going on all the time. And so if you Google Emerge Americas, that's a program. The deadline of this week or next week, and so that's a program. It's a startup showcase. There's just so many things out there. So don't ever hesitate, and work. Yeah, just work on your stuff and try to make progress, and that's what we're here for. And the more questions you ask, the faster you learn, and that's what you got to remember. So most people say, well, he's too busy, or whatever. The if you don't ask, you sit, your learning loops take longer. So that's what you got to remember. So there's a lot of knowledge out there. We have all these different coaches, but unless you ask, nobody's going to know what the deal is. So and the more feedback to get, the faster you can learn. But you got to remember, this is one thing I want to make sure, and this is a problem all founders have, and all lot mentors have, and everything. You have to get the information for the season you're in, the stage you're in. It doesn't do any good to get information for something that's later on down the road. You can get it, but people say, I need this and I need that. You need this and you need that. You only need what's for the stage you're in. And so all this other stuff, yeah. And people say, well, you have to have your business all up and running before you get any help. That's totally bogus. It's false. You have to just follow the process and do the stuff. You understand the process, follow the process, and don't be listening to all these people saying you need this and you need that. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot. So yeah. So yeah, I can tell you story after story, but I really appreciate you all chiming in tonight, and we're going to be engaging with you and helping you move forward throughout the year. We help you with your pitches, whatever you need help with. We'll be glad to do that. You all take care and enjoy it tonight. I look forward to seeing you all next week, and go ahead and do the thing, apply at kakuainstitute.org, and then you can get in our Founders Insight program and get on our mail list. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you all next week, if not this weekend.